Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back today for the most anticipated and highly requested video series on my channel, and that is the monthly tier list update. So this is going to be for June. This one is a little bit late. I'll try to get the July one out maybe within like halfway through the month or so. But yeah, man, for June we got a massive update to the tier list, a ton of promotions and demotions. You know, I just went through the last video, the last tier list, and read through how many comments were on this bad boy. Over 300 comments. Read through pretty much everything, all the threads of comments, replied to a bunch, and I had made a lot of changes based on your guys' feedback. Shout out to this guy right here. This guy right here, TC the Choom. This guy wrote like a paragraph per class, and especially a lot of the lower tiered stuff that got some decent changes, all because of that guy. So shout out to him, and yeah, shout out to everybody who left a comment on the last tier list. There was quite a few. We went through all of them. So before we get into the monthly tier list update, of course, we got a couple of disclaimers. First, let's go over some of the emoticons. So the recycling icon just means the champ's been reworked, been buffed. The up arrow is promotion, down arrow demotion. New is a new entry on the list. The robo arm means they want to have that awakened ability. The shield, and more shields, the better this champion is as a defender. The graph scale going up means they want to be at a high sig level. The ninja cat means it takes some skill to play these champions. You can't just pick them up and immediately have them mastered. The stone face guys, powerful relic. Pretty much every champion in the game, not every champion in the game benefits from having a relic, but some champions' interactions with them are extra special. And then the little skull here, recoil, suicide, ouchies, friendly. And then the lock here is a rarity lock, meaning a champion is not available as a 7-star. These are really only on the champions, though, that we'd want to see as 7 stars. Not like, you know, Miles Morales, for example. Okay, so with that all out of the way, there's only one more disclaimer. And, you know, that is that the whole point of this tier list is meant to be a rough guide to help you on your journey through the battle realm, and that's all it's intended to be. This is not meant to be the Bible of MCOC or anything like that. Just help you make a rank up decision if you're struggling to maybe get through some content, or maybe you have a Crystal Nexus choice and you're struggling on who to pick. You can refer to this tier list and it can give you some quick advice on kind of where I see the champions, me and my community, because that is what my tier list is. Community-based tier list, my initial thoughts, and then with your guys' feedback and changes get made. So it's the best time to drop a comment on one of my videos. If you want me to see it, drop a comment. That's how change is made. Just be nice about it. Don't be a dingus. All right, with all that said, let's get into the latest and greatest champs added to the list. All right, guys, so getting us started, our first champion that we're going to be talking about today is, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Yelena, something like that, Belova. So every time I say it, I'm like, am I saying it right? I don't know. I don't care. Yelena is great. She is the unfortunate thing is that she is one of the very few champions that I'm missing from the current Titan pool, especially the latest pool that just got added. She was one of the only ones that I did not pull. Her and Okoye, I just cannot pull the good skill champs, man, especially of this year. I just can't. So I don't have her, and I have not gotten a chance to play her a ton, but right off the rip, she is an extremely meta defender. Okay, right off the rip, she is an exceptional defender. Even as like a 6-star, I see her index absolutely causing problems. So she's landing in the Beyonder tier S+. I think this is a great spot for her to start in, and she has 2 of the shield icons, and she does want to be at a higher sig, which we'll talk about why in a second here. Pull up Khonshu Ankh here. So let's talk about the Awakened ability for a second. So the second part, when Yelena is in elimination mode, her target cannot evade or cause attacks to miss. No effect against mutant champs. So, you know, that's just being awakened. You get that level, whether it's signature level 1 or 200, that's not going to change. But the first bullet point here. So while Yelena is in observation mode, her target's critical damage rating is capped at 90 to 50% of what it was at the start of the fight. So if you can get her to a max sig, that's going to lower, anyone who's trying to fight her, their critical damage rating. So they're just going to be doing less damage when they crit, the higher the sig that you get her at a max of 50%. It's just capped for the whole fight while she's in observation mode. So that's pretty powerful and definitely worth sigging her up. Also, the other reason why she's absolutely worth sigging up is prestige. I believe she has, I think it's number 2, but it's I'm 100% sure it's top 5 prestige in the whole game. I think it's top 3 though. So yeah, she's absolutely worth the investment. Again, she's a great defender, so you're gonna get a lot of use. I think this is I couldn't really put her lower than this because of how much she's wanted, desired by the community as a whole. I see so many people in their Titan openings like, Yelena's my number 1, and it's for different reasons. Some people it's for prestige, some people it's for defense. And we haven't even talked about her on attack yet, which she is definitely pretty decent on. The skill class stocks have just been going up and up and up this year, and I think Yelena is a pretty good addition. Although I haven't had to deal with her too much on defense. Maybe she might be too much of a defender. I don't know yet. But I really want her. I certainly want her. She's my most wanted from the Titan right now. Her and Okoye. I'd love to get them. I have a skill. I have 2, actually. 2 skill awakening gems. So I'd love to get either one of these ladies and take them immediately to rank 3. Probably awaken them as well. Sig them up. Maybe even rank 4. Who knows? But yeah, that's Yelena coming in beyond her tier S+. I think that is a great spot to debut in the tier list in 2025. Alright, let's go talk about Cyclops. Alright, so Cyclops is also landing in the same tier as Yelena, and that is beyond her tier S+. Again, a very, very good ranking, a very high tier. The only tier higher than that is the one above all, which currently is capped at 3 positions, which that might change on the next tier list with just how many banger champions we've been getting lately. Might need to make some more room in that tier. But for now, for this tier list iteration, it's going to stay at 3. And Cyclops, I saw a lot of comments talking about him on the last list saying I forgot him and stuff. I did not forget him. I said in the last tier list, I'm going to be waiting because he's technically, a full month champion release. He's technically his own new champion that came out alongside Yelena, right? So I'm counting him as a new release, and that's why it's next tier list. Same with Phoenix. We're going to talk about her next. But Cyclops did the impossible, dude. I put 4 promotion arrows on him because he went 4 tiers. He was in the mid tier and he jumped 1, 2, 3, 4 tiers all the way up to beyond her tier S+. And I even saw some comments saying he should be in the one above all tier. Now, I really don't think Cyclops is that good. Not Onslaught level, not Mr. Sinister level. No. He's great. He's great. Don't get me wrong. But let's not get too crazy, all right? Let's not get too crazy. He's not at that level. He's not that caliber of a champion. He's good. He's got damage. He's got some nice utility. But he's nowhere near Onslaught level. Let's be for real here, all right? But Cyclops, man, he is very good. The damage output on this guy is absolutely phenomenal. It's not only is it phenomenal, it seems so true to what the character should be. And the best thing on everything, the best thing I can say about Cyclops is it's fun. I really just have so much fun when I am playing that dude, man. I remember going through the Wheel of Fate, and I was fighting Thor Ragnarok, and I just built to my special 3 with Cyclops. Thor had 80% of his health, then special 3 rotation, and just nuked him down. Just special 2, special 1, special 1, special 1, dead. And it's fun. It's so much freaking fun. And it's just, you get to see big yellow numbers, you get to spam your specials, and you just get to watch your opponent melt. It is fantastic. Now, I was debating, putting the Ninja Cat emoji on Cyclops, but I was because he's not the easiest champ to play, but at the same time, he's not hard to play, and you don't need to play him skillfully like, you can play him like a scrub and totally get a lot out of him. So I decided to not put that on him. But he's a little bit weird in the fact that, first of all, he doesn't dash forward. He just idles. He stays still. He does not move, which is weird. It takes a little bit getting used to, but it's not too bad. And then, primarily what you want to do with him is 3-hit combos, intercept, repeat. That's going to help you build him up faster, because you can only throw that special attack 3 when you have 20 of your precisions already. If you don't have 20, you don't have access to that special 3, and you can only throw it once per fight. But yeah, man. And then, I said Cyclops has the damage. We talked a lot about the damage, but the utility. Now, the signature ability does have some utility here. I don't think I put anything with no icons dealing with the signature ability, because I don't think you need it. I really don't think he needs to be awakened at all. Mine's rank 3 unduped, and been using him in war, been using him in the latest and greatest Everest endgame content, and the awaken ability has not really made a difference for me in the places that I want to use him already. It's nice, sure, it gives him more utility, and I'm not saying like I would say no if I just a free awaken on myself. Sure, I'm gonna take it, but am I gonna use an awakening gem? Absolutely not. Am I gonna give him Sig Stones? No, probably not. It's very weird. With the adrenaline, they're trying something new and different with the adrenaline mechanic. So, leading the charge, Cyclops stores 50 to 9% of the damage taken from bleeds and physical thorns as adrenaline. Then you can heal it up with adrenaline. So, very weird. I prefer just more tried and true counters to thorns, physical damage, and bleed effects than this. But like I said, I don't really. Mine's unduped, and I don't feel like I'm missing out on much. He's already so powerful. What I think my favorite piece of utility by far that Cyclops houses is this true focus buff right here, that you can pretty much have a 100% uptime on, and if it does happen to fall off, all you have to do is throw another special and boom, it's back. And what true focus does is it completely counters evade and miss. So just having that like straight out the gate and pretty much always, that is really, really nice utility. That just on top of all of his damage, man. Yeah, that's what gets him in this Beyonder tier plus. He needs more to be in one above all tier. He's not on that level, but fantastic, phenomenal buff. It feels like one of the most comic accurate buffs we've ever seen in game. I feel like Magneto was another one of those, and I feel like they just really, really did Cyclops justice. So I'm really, really happy with this buff. All right, we got one more buff to talk about, and that is Phoenix. Alright guys, before we get into all of the going by class and all the promotions, demotions, and everything, all that jazz, first I wanted to talk about Phoenix separately, because I kind of mentioned I was going to talk about her on the next tier list. So, buff Phoenix, she didn't quite pull off a Cyclops with, 4 promotion arrows, but still, she got 3 of them. She went from the mid tier to the God tier. I think this is a great spot for Phoenix with other champs like Maestro, Scream, Hyperion, Venom, Beta Ray Bill. I think this is the perfect spot for Phoenix to be in. She is the number one reason why she's here, in my mind, is because she can counter, and not only counter, but is the arguable best counter to Arnim Zola. One of the meta 2025 defenders that we've gotten so far. We've had a few: Dark Phoenix, Zola, Yelena, and then some other kind of dual threat defenders. But those have been, I would say, the 3 main big defenders that we've gotten so far this year. As long as I'm not forgetting anyone else. And Phoenix is the best counter, arguably, to Arnim Zola. That right there is a very good reason for her to go to the God tier. I would say, like, if she didn't have that really plus matchup, maybe she'd be in the amazing tier. Because she has that matchup, honestly, I put her in. You might be thinking, like, Legacy, one matchup is enough to, like, make the difference in a tier? Yes, it is. This last Alliance War season, I fought Zola 4 times? I think it was 4 times. 3 of which were with Phoenix. That is a full 1/3 of the season. There's only 12 wars. 4, 8, 12. So one full third of the season I've spent fighting Zola. 3 of those fights were with Phoenix. She's just such a phenomenal counter. So in Alliance War, I can absolutely see Phoenix always getting assigned to Zola's, man. As long as there's no stun immunity, she's going to do such a good job. But even outside of that matchup, you know, Phoenix, the buff is great. She can do a lot more damage. I would say the only thing I dislike about there's a couple things. I hate how, like, the special 3 just kind of kills your ramp. And it's kind of like a skill ask to not go to the special. I don't like that. Special 3s are supposed to be safe and rewarding. Like, oh, you want special 3? That's okay. Reset, you know. But Phoenix is like, that's a really bad thing to go to special 3. I don't like that. And I prefer the way her Rite of the Phoenix worked before her buff. I feel like it was actually way more powerful. It was like guaranteed, and like you couldn't even touch her while she was regenning when the Rise of the Phoenix was on her. So I feel like she's a little bit worse in that regard, but she is so much better damage and utility wise. So yeah, she's landing in the. I think that's a good spot for her. All right, those were our 3 newest additions that I really wanted to talk about on the list. All right, let's get into class by class, promotion by demotion. Let's get into it. All right, guys, here comes the big one, the science class. So we've had a bunch of promotions here, so many. The leader went from solid tier to amazing tier. Then we had Joe Fixit and Overseer from amazing tier to god tier. I've been wanting to rank up promote Joe Fixit on this list for the last couple times. I've been seeing comments here and there, so finally got that one in. And then Overseer, I've been seeing a lot of good stuff from B McG on Overseer always, and he did pretty good this last war season. So Overseer's always been doing good stuff. He's got the immunity to nullify, which is really nice, rare ability to have. So yeah, Overseer and Joe Fixit got a much needed promotion there. And then we had 2 more promotions from the God tier to the Beyonder tier, and the first one was Red Guardian. You know, I saw a couple comments about Red Guardian. I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, Red Guardian is quite exceptional after his buff. Definitely worthy of this. But then I was looking at all the other champs here, and I was like, Spot. You guys know how much I love Spot. I think Spot is one of the most underrated champs in the game. I love him. He's so good. And for Battlegrounds, he is such a good nuke option. He takes so many different defenders. Yeah, I love Spot, and I like him here. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with the Spot promotion. I'm sure there'll be disagreeers, but hopefully there's some people out there that think Spot's worth this promotion. I think he is. And then, you know, on the last list, before it was Spider-Ham up in the one above all. Then I took him out and then I put Titania in. And now I took Titania out and I put Spider-Woman in. So, yeah, Spider-Woman, man, you know, I did recently take her up to rank 4, and man, is she good. So one of the biggest things when I put Spider-Woman on the tier list last time around was, you know, I didn't give her the shield icon because I actually wasn't fully aware of just how good she is on defense. You know, then literally yesterday, I was in Bureau Man's stream, and I watched him just get destroyed by a Spider-Woman on defense. She went crazy on him. I was like, what? I was honestly flabbergasted, because, like, I've fought her a couple times, and it didn't necessarily go perfectly, but it didn't go, like, as bad as what I was witnessing. And I was like, damn, like, Spider-Woman's actually a crazy defender. She is, you know. That evade is pretty nutty. She can really trip you up. There's definitely ways to counter her, and she definitely has some good options, but she's definitely, you know, a pretty decent defender in a pinch for sure. And, like, her defense doesn't even matter. Like, that, she's not up here because she's a defender. She's up here because of how insane she is on attack. You know, she's the best, arguably the best Enchantress counter now. One of the most reliable for sure. Yeah, I just think Spider-Woman is all around really, really solid champ. One of the best champs really so far this year. And yeah, I think she deserves this tier. She's got the damage output of Spider-Ham through her power stings. Plus, she hits way harder than him with her physical combos and her crits. She has a very high crit rate. So she has more damage than Spider-Ham. I would say she's definitely a better defender than Spider-Ham. And she might just have more utility too. I don't... man, Spider-Ham does have... He is really nice with his nonsense charges. That is something Spider-Ham has that's very unique to him and very powerful. But man, I don't know. I feel like Spider-Woman's like a better version of Spider-Ham in 2025. And Titanius, and this is also why I feel like I need some more spots here. And especially with, Human Torch, he's going to be getting unlocked for the next tier list. Currently, when I'm making this, he is still 6-star locked. But yeah, for the next tier list, he will be unlocked. And it's going to be hard to argue him not being worthy of this tier. So I think we're going to have to make some more spots or something, man. I don't know. Or at least in the science class. Because the science class is just so freaking good. It's so stacked. But yeah, that's the science class. Alright, let's move on to the Cosmic class. Alright guys, jumping into the Cosmic class now, and there's a bit of a shakeup here. So, Dark Phoenix has been promoted from the Beyonder tier to the One Above All tier. Now, I originally wasn't planning on doing this, but there was multiple different comments talking about how good Dark Phoenix is and how she deserves to be up here, and the more I thought about it, the more it just made sense, because I think Dark Phoenix is the most powerful defender in the game right now. In my opinion. I think she is the most difficult defender, the most counter-required defender. Like, she's just brutal. Even with a counter, man, like, she can still just be so brutal. I think she's absolutely Serpent level. Absolutely Serpent level on defense. 100%. 100%. And Serpent is also, really good on attack, for sure. I would say Serpent has more utility than Dark Phoenix, but I don't know. I feel like Dark Phoenix might just have more damage than Serpent does. And that's not to say she doesn't have utility either. She certainly does. She's pretty good at breaking champs with armor. She's pretty good for longer fights like Serpent is. Can ramp, get a place on her special 3. She applies infinite duration Nova Flames up to a max of 3. Yeah, man, she's pretty insane. Not to mention she has like one of the best safety nets in the game. You can just let the opponent kill you and then heal back to full, essentially, like Nick Fury cheese level kind of stuff. But yeah, the main reason she's here is because of how good she is and how broken she is on defense. But she's definitely no slouch on attack. So yeah, that's Dark Phoenix going in the One Above All. And just looking at the rest of the Cosmic class, like, I don't think anyone else makes any sense here more than Dark Phoenix does. So, yeah, we're going to run that. Alright, and then we already talked about Phoenix, but we had a couple other promotions here of Corvus Glaive from the Amazing tier to the God tier. Right now is the Invade meta. This is Corvus's bread and butter. He deserves that promotion. Corvus is the OG God of the Cosmic class. Great champ. And then we had a bunch of small promotions. So Annihilus, Super Skrull, and Champion have all been promoted from the mid tier to the solid tier. These champs are definitely better than these champs here. And then Gore was in solid tier. I decided to promote him, and then I did see a couple comments after I did the promotion saying Gore should get promoted. Now, there's a couple champs in here that could possibly be promoted. Gallon is definitely one I've been eyeing for that promotion. Let me know which Cosmic Champion here, if you had to pick one, which one of the God tier deserves that promotion the most. Love to see some comments about that. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for the Cosmic class. Let's move on to Mystic. So, the Mystic class, oh yeah, we had some shakeups here. So, first of all, just a little promotion from the solid tier to the main tier. We had Sorcerer Supreme. Sorcerer Supreme is still a great champ, but she's very slow. She's very, very slow, but she has access to slow, which is pretty cool in the Mystic class. And she's got a lot of utility. Once you ramp her, it's decent damage, but yeah. Alright, and then we got Purgatory getting promoted from the God tier to the Beyonder tier. Purgatory is really great. I like her. She's awesome. And then there was many, might have been the most comments, other than like, oh, you forgot Cyclops or something, might have been about Tigra, saying that she should be promoted. Now, you guys know me. I hate Tiger. I despise Tiger. But again, this is not my tier list. It's our tier list. So there was enough comments for a Tigra promotion. Some people were saying take out Kushala. Some people were saying take out Juggernaut. Some people were saying take out Chavez. There was that many Tigra comments that there was multiple people saying it. For multiple people saying to take out... Like, there's at least 2 comments for saying to take out Kushala and swap in Tigra. Take out Jugs, swap in Tigra. Like, at least 2. More than 2 plus per each. Like, there was so many comments about Tigra, man. It was actually insane. So I finally decided to do it. And I took out America Chavez. I demoted her. I think Kushala is a more powerful mystic overall than Chavez. Definitely. And there's no way in hell. There is no chance in hell, in Valhalla, that Juggernaut is leaving this tier. It's not happening, guys. Juggernaut is not leaving this tier. Juggernaut is one of the most powerful champions in the entire game. Kabam have tried their very best to make him not the best against, newer cosmic defenders, like Dark Phoenix, like Serpent, He's pretty good for Deathless Thanos, though, at least. But, dude, Juggernaut is Jugs. He's so good at fighting outside the class wheel. Like, he's one of the best, if not the best, Nick Fury counter. And that's just because how much damage he has. He does nothing to counter the second life. He just does that much damage. Juggernaut ain't going anywhere out of this tier, bro. He is not moving. He's not budging. But Tigra is up here now. And I do think Tigra is very powerful. I ban her when I see her up at rank 3, usually. So, yeah. Freaking Tigra, man. She's too powerful. So, she got that one above all tier. Alright, that's the Mystic class. Let us move on to Mutant. So, in the Mutant class, we already talked about the Cyclops promotion. Oh, it's just one other promotion? And that is North Star. So yeah, North Star got a promotion from the Amazing tier up to the God tier. There was at least one comment about North Star that I can remember. It might have been 2. I think I only remember 1. But that's actually not even the reason why I did this promotion. The reason why I did this promotion was because, shout out to B McG. Again, we did the leader and overseer promotions partially because of him, and now also this North Star promotion because on the very last war of the season, top 10 masters in our sights, do or die, B McG, he fought a rank 4 Yelena Belova with North Star, and he cooked her, man. He cooked her in like a minute. It was awesome. It was pretty awesome. For that alone, that got North Star this promotion, dude. That fight alone, I was like, damn, okay. Like, I need to revisit North Star. I mean, I don't think I've ever visited North Star. I don't even have North Star as a 7-star, actually. So, yeah. But he's getting the promotion to the God tier here. And then there was a few comments about Gentle. Personally, I'm not convinced on Gentle. We should give him the shield icon, though, because he is definitely a decent defender. But drop some comments. Do you guys think Gentle should go to the Beyonder tier, or do you think he's chilling in God tier? I think he's chilling in God tier, honestly. Like, I definitely don't think Gentle is as good as Dazzler, or Jean Grey, or Cyclops, or most of the other champs in here. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that is our Mutant class. All right, let's get on to Tech. Now, Tech is a bit of a big one here. So, starting with a chill promotion, we had War Machine going from the mid tier to the solid tier. War Machine's not the worst. Plus, he's got some pre-fights that can be helpful. And then we had 2 demotions from the above all tier, and that was Prowler and Shuri. There was actually a lot of comments saying to demote Shuri. And quite a few comments saying Sentinel should be up. I went back and forth on this like twice. I put Sentinel in here and then took him out, and then I put him back in after reading more comments about him. I really like Sentinel. I really have, and I've personally thought he deserves to be up here for a while, but I just wasn't entirely sure if that was just me being biased and liking him. But no, there's a lot of comments talking about Sentinel, and I think Sentinel has really proven himself lately, especially in the current invade meta. Once again, he seems like one of the best champs in it. Like, it's crazy because that's how you already ramp Sentinel, by hitting in the block, and then you drop special 2, the incinerates. It is crazy, man. Plus, he's an incredible defender. He's got that special 3, full second life safety net. Like, Sentinel's incredible, man, after his buff. He really is. And I wanted to open up another space here because I feel like there's multiple champions that could go in here. I think Bastion. Oh, and it looks like I forgot to get rid of this Sentinel. Let's get rid of that one. Oops. Here we go. I feel like Bastion, there's definitely an argument for him to go here. I don't know. Again, let me know in the comment section down below which tech champion here. You can only pick one. I mean, you can pick more if you want, but I'm asking if only one. There's only one space here. If only one of these tech champions could get promoted, which one do you think it should be? I saw some people saying, Shocker. Some people saying Ironheart. Some people saying Guardian. Saw some Red Skulls. Saw a couple Bastions. So let me know. Let me know. This is one of the most difficult decisions I've had on the tier list lately. The tech class has gotten a lot better lately. It's some bangers, so it's tricky. That is our tech class. All right, guys, one class left. Skill. Let's go. So again, we've had some minor promotions here from the mid tier. We got Karnak and Ronin going up to the solid tier. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Tried to go away from the mic. Hopefully it wasn't too loud. And then we had Black Panther OG going from the solid tier to the amazing tier. Then we had Hitmonkey. There was a few comments about Hitmonkey. I know Hitmonkey very well. I got Hitmonkey as a 6th. He was like back in the day when Hitmonkey first came out. I opened some crystals for him and I got him as it was 6 stars at the time. This was before 7 stars existed, and I got him as a 6 star like day one. Like, I have had Hitmonkey for a long time, bro. I'm the one who called him Skill Corvus. Okay, I know Hitmonkey, and knowing Hitmonkey, I don't really think he's worth it. I think he's kind of mid. I think he's fallen off. If you take him like to rank 4 as a 7 star, sure, he's gonna be pretty good. But other than that, I would not have him in my deck or anything like that. I don't know. He's very, very squishy. Definitely a glass cannon. He's got the damage, but not a whole bunch else. He's decent defender, kind of. Not really. But there's a lot of comments. Again, it's not my tier list. It's our tier list. So boom, he got the promotion. And then Mantis. There's like one comment about Mantis. And they're like, why is Mantis so low? I'm like, because no one ever uses Mantis. And I really don't use Mantis anymore, but she's still a decent champ, and I have seen her a little bit more recently. I think she can actually like take Sentinel, like if they're equal ranks with her specialty. I think she can kill him. So yeah, Mantis got promoted. Her and Hitmonkey, and then Lumatrix. You guys roasted me in the comments on the last tier list for having Lumatrix so low. I mean, he's only in God tier, which I think is still decent, but all right. Just like after like the first hour the last tier list was posted, I was like, okay, Lumatrix is definitely getting promoted on the next one. That was like the first thing I did. So yeah, Lumatrix in the Beyonder tier, great defender, great attacker, all around, really good addition to the skill class. The skill class has been eating this year, dude, which is great. Kabam's been listening because I've been calling the skill class the worst class in the game, at least for 7 stars, for like over a year. Just been roasting the skill class relentlessly. So Kabam is finally taking notice and finally listening to us as a community to make skill class better. And then we have Okoye. So again, remember, like I said earlier in the video, it's another one of the few champs this year that I don't have. I just have not pulled. Same also with Gentle. I don't have him. Maybe that's partially why I don't think he's as good as maybe other people do. But yeah, Okoye, she's pretty nuts, man. I don't have her. Would love to pull her, but I'd still decide to put her in the one above all tier. This could change. Her rebalancing has now gone through. She's not changing, so that is good for her. She can do a lot of crazy stuff, insane damage, really good utility. Okoye's pretty solid, man. Like I said, the skill class has been eating. They've been feasting. So yeah, that's Okoye going there. Crossbones, there's also potential for him. An argument for him for sure. But yeah, that's where we're at. So guys, that is gonna go ahead and wrap it up for the June tier list. To go over things one more time, we got Yelena in Beyonder S tier plus. We got Cyclops in the Beyonder S tier plus. And Phoenix buff landing in the God tier. So, yeah, guys, that is going to go ahead and wrap it up for this month's tier list. I will definitely try my best to have the July tier list out sooner for you guys, so you don't have to wait till pretty much the end of the month. But, yeah, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this one. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If so, please drop a thumbs up, drop a like rating. Please leave a comment no matter what on anything, on any aspect of the tier list. Any changes you want, feedback of any kind, drop me a comment. Again, I read through every comment on these tier lists. Thank you guys so much for watching. Consider subscribing to the channel if you'd like to see and learn more about Marvel Contest of Champions. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great, wonderful day. Nothing but love. Peace.